So, today was the first war that I got to take my fresh rank 3 negative into my team, and it was some really nice results, I'm gonna say, as you can see from this clip of negative doing 3 bursts of 62,000 damage that we're gonna get to later. But we'll start on my path fights right here on path 2 in section 1, so node 2 against this Adam Warlock here. I've never done path 2 before. This was a special assignment, but it's going to be a really easy fight. Chavez is going to control this really well. I need Chavez for a path 8 fight later in the war, and she just worked out perfectly here. So this shouldn't be that hard. We can power control his passive power gain if we go for, well, I mean, we're power controlling it now, but we can reduce it even further if we go for more negative zone dimensions. Now I have 2 of them, so it's completely reversed. I was late on countering his heavy attack, so I did get punched, which was unfortunate, but it's not that big a deal. We're going to bait out his pod trigger before we throw the SP2, and then we're going to throw the SP2 to finish him off, or just kill him with basics. I don't remember what I do. I think I'm going to Relic Intercept. Oh, never mind. I'm going to throw the SP3 because of MD. Why do I never remember how my fights go when I took them yesterday? Either way, he dies. We did lose like a little over 30% health because of that combo we took, but it is what it is. I just messed up the heavy counter. It's not that big a deal. Next up, Kate Bishop on node 11, I believe this is. And this is just super easy. We're going to power start 1, and this Kate Bishop is going to barely survive 1 SP2. The only thing I have to worry about is not parrying, and then she's basically just destroyed. We can heavy counter with absolute ease. We can special 1 counter with absolute ease. We just get ready for the arrow and then charge a heavy. And yeah, this SP2 is going to wipe her out. We might need an SP1 at the end. And we are, but, you know, that was barely 30 seconds of fight time. I might have been no damage taken. We're going to see from the stats. I had a little bit of lag, but once the lag ends in a couple seconds, I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I didn't do a no damage taken, but you know, we barely took any damage anyway. Next up, section 2, path 8. I'm gonna use a small energy refill because I was one of the first people to join the battle group this war, so I had to use some extra energy, but it's not that big a deal. We have negatives first fight against this Kindred here. I'm going to mess this fight up and make it a lot harder than it needs to be, but I'll point that out later. We're going to throw the SP1. This converts our light energy into dark energy, just like the heavy attack does. But I had the power start 1. I wanted to use it. So we just did there. We used the SP1. Here, I was a little scared to dash in to counter. I was scared to dash in to block the second of his SP1 because I thought I might be a little too late on it and end up getting hit by the SP1, and that was maybe not a good decision. I probably should have risked it because of the fact that now I couldn't pause my Nightmare Outbreak, and I was just degenning a lot. Luckily, if you heavy attack Kindred, it falls off faster, and we do have some degen resistance for unique buffs, but yeah, it was a simple mistake, one that I can definitely avoid in future wars. I should have dashed in to counter the SP1. It was just a dumb move. Either way, next up we have a Hulkling on node 35. Another fight where Chavez just power controls this really well. I messed this fight up last war, but this one's going to go a lot better. I'm throwing on some big boy mystic power boosts for a fight I have later on in this war, and it does help a lot here too, so we're going to get into the fight. Basically, just nuke him down and keep our negative zones up to power control, and that's the only thing you need to know. If he throws a bunch of SP1s, it is kind of frustrating, but I wouldn't really try to anti-bait them too much just because of the Pierce stacking up so much. I'd rather just deal with the Indestructible, deal with the regen, than take a bunch of block damage. And that's pretty much how this fight's going to go. We're going to throw the SP2 just after the Indestructible falls off, and holy crap, the damage on that thing was so stupid. Anyway, we're going to go back in, and once the Indestructible falls off, we're going to SP3, and it's going to do the trick. Even if it didn't, he wouldn't go to SP3 because we have enough negative zones up. But yeah, it definitely did the trick. He's very much dead with a lot of overkill. We had Chavez is max damage with all of his buffs, with our dimensions, all that fun stuff. So, next up, mini bosses. We're going to start against this Ebony Maw here. And I was originally assigned Hulk this war, and I was like, no, I can negative this. I know I can negative this. It might seem a little risky, because, hey, right back at it, that means that my degens will get purified when he gets knocked down. There is an alternative rotation that you can use with negative that I really like using, where, well, I'm not going to say really like using, but it's really good in certain scenarios like this one, where you go for the SP3 and deal direct damage instead of his degen from damage over time. So, the way this fight goes is you just want to heavy counter Maw's SP1s, which I'm usually good at. I'm messing it up here, but luckily I'm not messing it up too much to where I'm getting punished for it. I'm just kind of misspacing. Like there, I did it again, but luckily he can't recover fast enough for that second hit to whiff. So what we just want to do is convert our energy. We have 20 energy, we have the Fury from Ebb and Flow Knockdown, and you're going to see the direct damage, just like you did at the beginning of this video, absolutely annihilate this Maw here. So once the SP3 ends, those numbers are so fun to watch. He just gets completely destroyed by the direct damage. You can hear the joy in my voice of taking that fight, because I absolutely loved taking that fight so much. Okay, so this is the last fight of the war, and there's a little bit of a story behind it. So my officer sent the assignments for the war about like 6 hours in. I checked them and I was like, hey, there's a node 49 Onslaught that I have to take with Tigra, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how to dex this guy's SP1. This is not going to be very fun. And then my officer said, Power Start 1, just nuke him. I don't care. We do not have very good Onslaught counters. We just don't have Onslaught counters on this node, period. So you're going to have to take it whether you like it or not. Just nuke him as fast as you can. Trust in your Tigra. And I was like, okay, I'll do my best. I'll do my best. I practiced the SP1 dex a little bit before going into the fight, just in case. But we're going with the game plan of just nuke him and absolutely slaughter this guy before he can slaughter me. We're going to go for some SP2s. The first one is going to bring him all the way down to 60%, a little lower than that. We just want to heavy counter. It's really easy. The spacing is really easy to counter. We go for another SP2 here. I messed it up a little bit, but we're fine. And the SP1 is going to finish the job. And we killed him with 85% health left in 31 seconds. And I was like, alright, Egg. Egg is my officer. We don't have to worry about node 49 Onslaught for the rest of the season. I got this. Another fight where you can just hear the absolute joy in my voice, because that was, I absolutely love taking that. And yeah, I have another one in War 3, which is active right now. I'm gonna have to do that fight again, and it's an even higher rank Onslaught, but I'm feeling very confident about it. And you can see the results in this war. We won on time. We had a tie in attack bonus. They did kill us one more time, but we had the same amount of attack bonus, which is what matters. And we won by like less than 300 seconds of fight duration, which is pretty crazy. That's like not even 5 minutes of fight duration we just won by. Crazy ending to the war. Crazy War 2. I just loved those minis that I took and loved my fights this war. It was really fun. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like, hit subscribe, and I hope to entertain you in a bunch of other war videos this season. I'll see you in the next one.